Looking ahead to Sir Keir Starmer's speech, there's one big headline, one big pre-briefing note about it, and that's that Blairism is back, is it?
Well, the centre ground is back. You know, our political system works because usually you have two parties in the majority view of where the public want parties to be, and they're battling out for where the majority of the public are. But right now, the Tory party, because of its budget last week and a few other issues, has leapt off the centre ground. So there is a big weight and a burden on the Labour Party now, because we are the party that represents the majority view of the public. So yes, Tony Blair was the last Labour leader that won that kind of argument with the public. So to connect ourselves to it, in the same way that Blair connected himself to Wilson and Attlee, the other two winning leaders of the Labour Party, we're plonking ourselves absolutely front and centre in the winning traditions of the Labour Party at its best.
Were taxes too low under Tony Blair?
No, they were right for the moment. You know, we're in a different era now. I mean, a lot has changed. We've had a series of crises, some of them caused by national and international situations, others caused by mismanagement of our economy and our society by the governing party we've been in for 12 years, and the lack of preparation for building of resilience in our economy and in our society. So we have to now think about the taxation levels, but also the investment in public services to build resilience, and also our infrastructure. I mean, infrastructure was never a massive issue in some previous generations, but now it absolutely is, and the lack of investment in it. So these are the issues that we're going to have to tackle, and you'll see Keir Starmer setting out a framework for how we will govern to tackle the big issues of the day.
The reason I ask the question, of course, is because the Conservative government is returning the top level of tax to what it was under Tony Blair. The Labour Party now suggesting that they'll raise it back up again. It wasn't so long ago that Sir Keir Starmer was saying that the tax burden is too high, that taxes are high because growth is low, implying that the tax burden should come down. Is there a risk now that the Labour Party is going into the next election proposing a sweep of tax rises?
No, actually, what you've seen is the Labour Party taxing fairly, spending wisely. That's the framework through which we apply all of our spending commitments and our investment commitments and our tax raising. The one difference between the Labour Party and the Tory party right now is that we had the biggest spending splurge in peacetime history last week, not a single measure really significantly on revenue generation. Now, what the Labour Party has been very clear on is where the money's going to come from, not just borrowing. With our cost of living package in the summer, which is a big spending commitment, there was borrowing involved, but there was also revenue generation through a windfall tax. Now, we're being responsible, taxing fairly, spending wisely, and that's, I think, the framework that you'll see with Keir's speech, and you certainly saw with Rachel yesterday, who talked about fiscal discipline. Now, this is the Labour Party. Rachel got a massive round of applause for talking about fiscal discipline, and that is something that you've traditionally associated with the Conservative values. Well, Conservative values no longer have the stranglehold and the grip on spending wisely and taxing fairly anymore. That's gone out of the window. That's now with us, and I think you'll see that message reinforced with Keir today.